Hello everyone.
Hi.
Good evening, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. So today we will change our teaching style. What we will do, rather than asking questions, what we will do, we will also learn first. We will understand the concept, and then we will then start the quiz. Okay. So what will happen? We will divide our video into two parts.
Yeah.
In the first part, what we will do, we will learn about the topic. What is happening is this: we are only creating the video after learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so get the quiz. So what we will do now, first video, we will learn and understand the topic,
Yeah.
and then we'll create a quiz video so that you can also get good marks in the examination.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this examination of science, which is on I think Friday or Monday,
Friday.
Friday. The exam is on Friday. Okay, basically there are three chapter which is coming, and out of the one chapter, the topic force is coming. Okay,
Yeah.
out of one chapter, three chapter, the last chapter is one of the chapter where the topic of only force is coming.
Yeah.
So there is a force, there is this one what they call machines, and then the types of energy. So rather than all those topic, only the force need to be studied. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So basically, let's start with the kind of forces. So your questions mainly will start with the kind of forces. Okay,
Types of food.
types of forces or kind of forces is the same. So there are mainly six types of forces.
Yeah.
Okay, there are mainly three types of forces. The technique to remember them is very easy. You just remember M3EFG. You all know ABCDEFG, right?
Yeah.
So rather than ABCDEFG, what you have to remember? You have to remember
Yeah.
M3EFG. What did M3 stand for? M3 stand for M is three times M.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first M stand for the muscular force.
Yeah.
The second M stands for the
Mag-
mechanical force. And the third one stands for what?
Magnetic.
Magnetic force. Muscular, magnetic, and mechanical.
Yeah.
All these three types of forces are important. You have to learn about all of them.
Yeah.
So there are how many types of forces are there? Keep in mind, six types of forces are there.
Yeah.
How many types of forces are there? Six types of forces are there.
Yeah.
How to remember them? To remember them, it's very easy technique. The technique to remember them is very easy. The best way to remember is like sorry guys for this, no worry. Yeah. The best way to remember them is very easy. All you have to do, keep this technique in the mind, M3EFG. The technique is what? M3EFG. Okay? What you all you have to do, you have to remember this technique called M3EFG. Okay? M3 stand for what? Tell me. M3 stand for what? Tell me the name.
M3.
Muscular, mechanical,
Mechanical
and
and
magnetic
magnetic.
forces. याद रहेगा?
Yeah.
Muscular, magnetic, and no,
Mechanical.
muscular, mechanical, and magnetic.
Yeah.
Remember, muscular, mechanical, and mechanic.
Magnetic.
Okay. And EFG stand for what? E stand for the elastic force, F stand for the frictional force, and G stand for the gravitational force. All these six types of forces are important. They all will come in the examination. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, very first force is what? A muscular force. A force which is applied by our muscles is called what? Muscular force.
Yeah.
A force which is applied by our muscles is called what? Muscular force. What is mean by applied by muscular muscles? For example, you are pushing someone, you are lifting a bag, you are lifting a laptop, you are lifting a charger, you are shaking hands with someone, right? Any activity where you feel like a muscle is involved, that is called what? Muscular force. The examples are, for example, you are lifting your school bag, you are opening the door, you are closing the doors. Huh? Any kind of movement done by our body is an example of muscular force.
Yeah.
Any kind of movement done by our body is an example of muscular force.
Yeah.
Always I tell you, whenever you are doing study, always think like a teacher. What kind of question teacher can ask you?
Yeah.
Okay, she will give you an example. A boy kicking is a football, what kind of force is applied? Very simple, muscular type. Okay.
Yeah.
Second kind of force question. What she can ask you? She can ask you two more questions. Definition of muscular force. So what is the answer for that? The force applied by our muscles, by the muscles, is called muscular force. Any movement done by our body is a muscular force. Example of muscular force: a boy kicking football, a student lifting his bag, someone closing the door. Got it? This is very easy. Okay. Any questions so far? No problem. The second types of call it like mechanical force. The second type of force is called what? Mechanical force. So as the name suggests, see, muscular by mechanical by mechanical, but there is not terminology called mechanical. The better word is what? Machine.
Yeah, simple
Okay,
machine.
simple machines. Okay, simple machine, complex machine doesn't matter. It should be a machine. So, what is the definition of a machine? Of a mechanical force? The force used by machine or given by machines is called what? Mechanical force. Simple very definition is what? The force provided by machine is called mechanical force. Don't get confused. Simple machine, complex machine. No, a machine is machine.
Yeah.
Okay. What is definition of mechanical force? The definition of mechanical force is the force applied by machine is called.
By machines is called mechanical force.
Yes. For example, what the example they give? Crane to lift a heavy thing. A crane to lift what? Heavy thing. What is the example here? Which kind of force they are applying?
Mechanical.
Mechanical. And which machine they are using? Pulley, I think, right? Because with the help of pulley only.
Pulley and level.
Yeah, very good. Level also. You're
And
right.
medium now.
Yes, yes. Yes, you're correct. But machine is not coming in the examination. So don't worry. Only forces you have to study. Okay. The muscular force is not enough to lift heavy thing. Can you lift a heavy thing with a muscular? No. So in order to do this, what we need? We need a machine.
Yeah.
What they are saying? Cricket coaches uses what? What they use? Tell me.
Bowling machines.
Cricket they use what? They use the bowling machine to do what? To throw the ball. To whom they throw the ball? To the batsman.
Yeah.
The cricket coach is using bowling machine to throw ball. So what kind of force they are using? A cricket
Mechanical.
coach uses the bowling machine to throw ball faster. What kind of machine they are using?
Mechanical.
Mechanical force. Yes. What are the other example you can think about like mechanical forces?
That the fan,
Yeah.
the lights,
Light there is no mechanical force.
AC.
There is a ACS, but colors. Keep it simple. So crane and the bowling machines are the examples of the mechanical forces. Okay. What is elastic forces?
An archer uses elastic force of a bow to shoot an arrow.
A pole vaulter uses the elastic force of a flexible pole to jump high.
Yeah.
I'll explain you what the elastic force is. The way it works, like when a archer, when he pulls the arrow, the bowstring,
Yeah.
the bowstring, what he does, he transfers his force from the muscles to that string,
Yeah.
and he holds that energy over there. Okay. What is happening because of this tension in the wire? The force will be applied on the arrow.
Yeah.
That force is called what? Elastic force. Wherever you see like this kind of concept, like rubber band or a string, then what kind of force is being applied? Elastic force. I'll give you more elastic force in our quiz. Okay. This guy, can you see this guy? This guy is called what? Pole vaulter.
Yeah.
What he is using? He is using elastic force of a flexible pole to jump high. What he is doing? He is applying the force on the first. He is applying what? See, there are two types of forces. First, he is applying the muscular force to pull the pole down. The moment the muscular force he applies to pull it down, there is another force which will be applied to him that is called elastic force by the pole, flexible pole. Remember? Okay. In the higher classes, you will understand better. But now, just okay. Okay. The next concept is they are calling what? Gravitational force. It is very important. Huh? Teacher will ask you so many questions over here. As the name suggests, gravitational force. Okay. See, what does Earth does? Earth pulls all the object towards its center with a force called gravitational force or gravity. Teacher will ask you a question. Is gravitational force and gravity force same? Yes. The gravity and gravitational force the same. Okay. The Earth pulls all the object toward its center with a force called gravitational force. The Earth pulls all the object towards its center called what? Gravitational force. For example, how does the scientist who discovered the gravitational force, he discovered that? Then there was an apple.
Yeah. Newton.
Yeah, you know about Newton, that's good. The Newton, that apple fall on his head. He said, why? Why that apple came down? Why didn't it went up? Then he realized that there must be some force which is pulling that apple towards him. That is called what? Gravitational force.
Half a dozen.
Yes. Wait a minute. Doubt later. First, padai. Okay. What is the definition of gravitational force or gravity? The Earth pulls all the object toward its center with a force called gravitational force. Okay. Everything which has mass, that
Yeah.
means weight, everything which has weight is pulled towards the earth due to the force of gravity.
Yeah.
Okay, that is why all the objects fall on the ground. That is why what happening, all the objects fall on the ground. Okay, that's why leaf falling down due to gravity. When you throw a ball, for example, if you throw a ball up, it will come down. Why? Because there is a gravity.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yesterday that in Ram Katha he told, right, that he get out of escape velocity, right? If you throw something faster, then it will go out of your gravity range. But later, not today. It's a higher gate concept, okay? Why do astronauts float inside the spacecraft in space? Because there is no gravity in the
Space.
spacecraft. That's why they do
No, in
fly
space.
in the space. Yes. Okay, so this is all about, like, the 3 or 4 kind of forces we have learned. Just the technique to remember is what? Muscular, mechanical, magnetic, elastic, frictional, and
Gravity.
gravitational force. Okay, so let's go to the other 2 types of forces. Okay, this is important. The frictional, I will tell you one thing. The frictional force and the magnetic force are the most important forces in your syllabus. You have to remember them, you have to learn them very seriously. Okay, and most of the question will be only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to understand what's happening. See, a bicycle slows down and stop after a distance if you stop pedaling it.
Yeah.
Also, a ball rolled on the ground stops after covering some distance.
Yeah.
Teacher will ask you a question. A ball rolled on the ground stops after covering some time because of which force? So you have to tell, the answer is frictional force.
Yeah.
What is stopping them from moving on their own? Actually, moving things slow down or stop moving on their own because some kind of forces acting on them. This force is called what? Force of friction or frictional force.
Yeah.
Okay, a force of friction or a frictional force which is applied on the object which are moving.
Yeah.
Okay, it comes into effect or play only when one object move over the other.
Yeah.
For example, if I am putting a book on the table, is frictional force applied? No. Only gravitational force is being applied because that is being pulled towards the center, like Earth. Get it? But if a ball is rolling on, if the ball is rolling on the like table, then the frictional force will only apply. In order to apply the frictional force, the movement is important. Okay. Also, what is important to remember here is this: it always acts in the opposite to the direction of the motion of object. For example, if ball is going towards east, then the frictional force will apply in the direction of west.
Yeah.
That's why that ball gets stopped, right? If ball is also going east and the frictional force also getting applied in the direction of east, then ball will go faster, right? What is happening is this: the ball going towards east, the frictional force will be applied in the west direction. So see, you have to think like this. I will tell you what kind of questions she will ask you. She will ask you, write a short note on frictional force. 2 marks question. That means minimum 6 point or 5 point we have to write. First point is this definition: the force which comes into effect when an object move on the other, that is called frictional force. Okay, the it always act in the opposite direction of the object. For example, a ball rolling on the street stops down. A cycle, if we stop pedaling, will stop down. Okay. See, that's why a skater wearing skating shoes has to push himself to keep moving in order to overcome the frictional force. Same even for cycling. If you will not keep pedaling, the cycle will stop or not.
Yeah.
If you want cycle to continue, what you have to do, you have to keep pedaling your cycle.
Yeah.
Same concept is he is explaining or teacher is explaining with the help of skating. Okay. Okay. However, the skater would not stop if there is no friction. For example, if there is no friction, he will never stop. If there is too much friction, then a skater would not be able to skate at all. Therefore, the frictional force is very important. What he is saying is this: if the frictional force is too high, then you have to apply more force. Getting it or not? For example, if you are going towards a hilly area where there is a mountain area and there is a straight road, what do you think? In which area you can do cycling better? In the hilly area or on the normal road?
Normal road.
Why normal road? Because there is a less friction. Why on the normal road there is a less friction? Because of that you are not supposed to apply more forces.
Yeah.
But if you go to hilly area, there will be more friction on the, like there will be like concrete and stones and all. Though they might have more friction on your rubber, right? You have to apply more forces. Understood? And if there is no friction, what will happen? Everything will slip, right? That's why friction is needed. Friction is very much important in your life. Okay. All right. Teacher is giving you some also important concept. Why does airplane have? There is also friction there. It is called what? It is called air friction or drag. It is called what? Air friction or drag. What kind of questions he will ask you? He will ask you what is the air friction called.
Yeah.
What you have to answer? You have to answer air friction is called drag.
Yeah.
All airplanes have a spindle shape, and a pointed nose to move faster by overcoming friction. So, what kind of questions he will ask? Why do airplanes have a pointed nose? Answer is to remove the friction or to reduce the friction. Okay, याद रहेगा. Okay, let's a quick revision for friction. Friction always acts in the opposite direction. If friction is more, you have to apply more friction, more force. If friction is less, then you will have no, like you will slip. It always applied in the opposite direction. In order to apply this, there should be a movement. Okay, and in the air also have a friction, and that friction is called air friction or drag. That's why the airplane have a nose shape to reduce the friction. These 5-6 points you have to write in the examination to get good marks. Okay. All right. Let's jump on the last type of force, which is called magnetic force. Very easy. See, as the name suggests, who will apply magnetic force? The force applied by magnets are called magnetic force. What it is saying? Magnet attracts some metal or metal objects such as iron nails. Because of what? Because of magnetic. It not only attract, it can repel also. You know the concept, right? I have teach you, right? If it is like pole, then it will repel. If north will come, then it will repel. If south will come, then it will attract. याद रहेगा? The like pole will repel each other, unlike pole attract each other. Understood?
Yeah.
Like pole will repel each other, unlike pole will attract each other. Okay? So teacher might ask you a question. What kind of questions he will ask? That magnet always only attracts. No, magnet can attract, also can repel also. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what are the other example you have seen? There is a beautiful fridge magnet on our refrigerator. Why we are having this? Because there is a magnetical force on that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is all from your syllabus. That's it. Uh, okay, guys. We will create a new video for the quiz. We'll share that later. Thank you. Bye bye.